This is a two-part video. In part one, we discuss the possibility of King Von's killer, Lul Tim, being framed. And then in part two, we examine the many L's that King Von's killer, Lul Tim, keeps giving King Von friends. By now, you probably think you know the story of King Von's murder pretty well. King Von was at Monica Hookah Lounge. He ran into Quando Rondo, had a fight, and while tussling with Quando Rondo, Lul Tim, Timothy Meeks, came from around a vehicle and shot King Von, and those were the shots that killed King Von. I mean, how could you not believe the story? The surveillance footage shows that Lul Tim shot King Von. The Atlanta PD spokesperson, Marla Jean Rooker, gave a statement and said that Lul Tim has been arrested and that Lul Tim arrest closes the homicide of King Von, aka Davon Bennett. The case at this point seemed pretty open and shut until more information began to come out, such as King Von wasn't the only one that was shot that night. As a matter of fact, 6 people were shot. 3 people was believed to be dead.
6 men shot, King Von and 2 others dead, 3 injured and being treated at the hospital.
Once the information got released that not just King Von was shot and killed, that actually 6 people got shot and 3 got killed, including King Von, people began to speculate. And then there was rumors that began to circulate that Atlanta PD actually shot a lot of people that night, including King Von. Well, Atlanta PD got ahead of the story ASAP.
The APD says they're aware of rumors speculating Von was killed by police and say investigators believe Von was killed before officers even arrived to that scene. Atlanta police and the GBI are still investigating.
Atlanta Police Department initial story was King Von was already dead and they didn't shoot or kill King Von at all. But police lie. And we quickly found out that wasn't true because according to King Von's sister, Kayla B., King Von was conscious when they was in the vehicle. He was so conscious that King Von actually gave at least one person a call to let them know that he was okay.
Like, when you first found out, what were you thinking? Like, what was going through your head?
You said like the first time I found out when he got shot or when he passed away?
I would say both, honestly.
Well, when he got shot, I was just kept calling everybody. They was just like, oh, he good, he good. So, you know, I'm like, okay, cool. But I still stayed up like till like 6 in the morning. I only went to sleep because they was like, I think I had ended up I think I cut my phone off too, which I regret that because they said he was calling people, telling people he was good.
King Von's manager at 100K Track even confirmed that inside of the vehicle, not only was King Von conscious, but King Von was the only calm one as his friends was panicking.
When he got to the hospital, was he conscious then? And was there any way how maybe he could have survived this?
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. But the gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Vaughn was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill, I'm gonna be good, just get me to the hospital.
Atlanta PD lied. We know it now, but we didn't know it then. That King Von wasn't dead when they show up. King Von was actually conscious, so conscious that he was in the vehicle telling his friends, yo, bro, calm down, I'm good, calm down. And according to Kayla B., Von gave a call to at least one person to let him know, I'm good, I'm gonna be all right. The general public didn't know how to feel about Atlanta PD's story, but we had no reason not to believe it. I mean, it's on camera. Lul Tim shot King Von. That's indisputable. They had the public fooled. Well, that's until this bombshell dropped on social media.
Last night in Atlanta, the police shot King Von and 2 of his people. Social media is active with, they're upset with the police. So if we have any jobs in Parkway, send 2 cars every time, okay? And keep your eyes open, be wary. They're not happy with the police over there.
For Unison 3, you copy 399. Heads up, there was a police shooting in Atlanta last night. And right now they're not happy with the police. Use caution out there. 9.
That call is from a Chicago police officer giving dispatch a heads up. He states, we got intel that Atlanta PD, that they killed King Von, that Atlanta PD killed King Von and his 2 friends. We're in Chicago. We know Chicago loves King Von, and we know they will try to retaliate on the police. So if you send any officers out for anything, make sure you send more than 1 officer. Let's be safe tonight. Because Chicago PD feared that there will be retaliation for King Von's death, because according to them, they got intel that Atlanta PD killed King Von and his two friends, not Lil Tim. But then the question is, Flacco, we've seen Lil Tim shoot King Von on camera. What do you mean Lil Tim didn't kill King Von? Well, there's something else that you didn't see on camera. You see, Atlanta PD was being corrupt, right? They wasn't giving no information. They was BS and they was giving out bad information. So the Georgia Bureau of Investigation peeped that Atlanta PD was being dishonest. So they did their own independent investigation and they released the fact summary to the general public. From their fact summary, we learned two things: that there were at least 3 officers on scene, 2 off-duty officers who was working nearby, and 1 on-duty officer. We also learned that at least 2 of those officers discharged a firearm, aka those officers were busting at the scene. The Georgia Bureau Independent Investigation confirmed for us that 2 officers, 1 on duty and 1 off duty, fired shots at 2 locations. During the shooting incident, 6 men were shot during the group altercation and officer encounter. This is the first time that we learned that the officers shot at least a couple people, at most 6, and King Von would be included in that 6. But we couldn't really grasp how reckless the officers truly were until we got a first-hand account from a 100K track.
Bro, nobody was running from the shooter that shot Von, because y'all could clearly see that once he shot Von, everybody moved back. People were still there. It's the police that started shooting uncontrollably.
100K track will claim that when you see Lil Tim on the floor towards your right and King Von on the floor towards your left, and you see people running away, that's because police was hunting them down and just shooting recklessly, off camera.
So when you see everybody taking cover, they wasn't taking cover away from the shooter from Von. They were taking cover because they didn't know where the shots was going from. If you look, people was running left, people was running right, people was running to the club door because we didn't know where shots was coming from. Right? You got the police shooting anybody with a weapon that they got killed. If you got a weapon that they on you, you got shot. That's how much shots was getting rained. So you guys are looking from the one angle of the camera and looking like, oh, damn, they run away from the shot. And wasn't nobody running away from no. Listen, bro, we didn't know where all the shots was coming from.
100K track is saying that on camera, when you see people running, they're running from Atlanta PD just firing random shots. And that when King Von homies grab King Von and try to move him and they, were moving him off camera a little bit, that what happened off camera is that King Von homies had guns in their hand trying to protect King Von, not knowing if a threat was coming back. And that Atlanta PD deemed them as threats and started shooting. And they got hit, and 2 of them died. Atlanta PD killed 2 of them. So at the very least, we know that the Atlanta PD shots killed 2 of King Von homies that night. And at the very least, we know at the very least that King Von was in the middle of a crossfire from Atlanta PD.
And everybody else coming towards him was getting shot at by the officers.
The officers were shooting any and everyone who was approaching King Von. And let's just look at how bullets work. If the officers are shooting any and everyone who's approaching King Von, trying to guard King Von from the bullets, you telling me it's improbable that they bullets hit King Von as well? Shortly after the Georgia Bureau of Investigation posted their findings and receipts, well, something got leaked. The hospital paperwork, which describes how many times King Von got shot and where King Von got shot, that got leaked all of a sudden. If you look at the very bottom, you will see, per R.N. Brody, King Von sustained 5 gunshots, 3 to his back, 1 to his right groin area, and 1 to his upper left shoulder. That's not consistent with the video we saw of Lul Tim shooting King Von. Lul Tim couldn't have shot King Von in the front of his body and in the back of his body. Lul Tim couldn't have shot King Von 3 times in the back and then in the front. Based on where he was positioned, you either getting him up front or in the back, bro. You're not about to get him in the front, move in position. That's just not what happened, like, at all. But then shortly after that was leaked, something strange happened. Lil Tim got bond. Now you're saying, Flacco, how's that strange? How is Lil Tim getting bond strange? Well, I'll break it down for you. Atlanta, unlike most states, got unbondable offenses. Now, I'm going to tell you what the unbondable offense is and tell you what Lil Tim was charged with. Treason, murder, rape, aggravated sodomy, armed robbery, among other things, are unbondable offenses, meaning you don't get bond. Lil Tim was charged with felony murder, so Lil Tim had an unbondable offense. The only time you get bond is if you appeal to the Supreme Court. You go to the Supreme Court and they decide, okay, based on what we're seeing, you deserve bond. Lil Tim did that twice, got denied twice by the Supreme Court. But then shortly after it was released where King Von got shot, all of a sudden, the Supreme Court granted Lil Tim bond and granted him bond of $100,000, 10%. So what extreme circumstance did the Supreme Court see this time around in which they granted Lil Tim bond? Well, that's because the Supreme Court looked at the Georgia Bureau of Investigations report, looked at the call, looked at Atlanta PD line, looked at where King Von was shot, and thought, obviously, King Von had to have been shot by somebody else other than Lil Tim as well. Lil Tim has been out on bond for about 3 years now. And today we learned that while the King Von death anniversary approaches, that Lil Tim murder charges have been dropped.
I can officially report and confirm that the murder charge against Timothy Leaks, aka Lil Tim, for the murder of rapper King Von has been dismissed based on the DA's decision not to prosecute.
That's Mickey Truth. She was the first to report this, so I do want to give her some love before I expound on my own investigation, right? She was the first. So it came out after her through various other sources that yes, the charges were dismissed, that Lil Tim murder charges were dismissed. Then Asian Dog came out and stated that, yes, it was dismissed, but it's dismissed because Atlanta PD believed that Lil Tim didn't kill King Von, that they actually were the ones who killed King Von. Now, here's the thing. I wouldn't take Asian Dog's word for it, so I contacted King Von's manager, 100K, directly. He confirmed that Lil Tim charges were dropped, yes. Now, in terms of King Von being killed by Atlanta PD, the charges were not dropped because Atlanta PD believed that they killed King Von. The charges were dropped because Atlanta PD couldn't rule out the fact that they killed King Von. You see how slick they are with their words, bro? They're saying that because King Von was indeed hit with at least one of their bullets, that it's hard to really confirm who exactly killed King Von. So DA dropped the charges because DA don't believe they can go to court and prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Lil Tim fired the bullets that shot and killed King Von. So it will seem like Lil Tim is going to get little to no consequences for his involvement in King Von's death. Now, a lot of you hip-hop fans or quote-unquote street dudes might be like, Flacco, Von homies want him free anyway so they can slide for Von. And my response is, don't hold your breath. Y'all remember when King Von passed away and literally the day after, King Von homies was online talking about the real steppers are on their way, insinuating they were driving 150 miles per hour to get to Savannah to step for Von. But when they got to Savannah, they didn't step for Von. They hopped on IG Live, gave their friends a free concert, and filmed TikToks, or Musically at that time.
We bring chains out, nigga. That about this ice, we bring pays out when it's time. Sell pounds, nigga. Ain't got PayPal, nigga. Bad broad header, I be at the mall with her.
You didn't even finna whoop some heights.
Nah, let me stop playing. I ain't on shit. I came out here to shoot a video game. We chilling, man. Y'all with all this police extra shit. I'm just laughing, tweaking back with y'all.
They went from the real steppers are on our way to we're filming a music video, bro. We not sliding for Von. And not only did they not slide for Von, but then they left Savannah and started doing interviews and speaking highly and giving praises to King Von Killer.
Niggas be like, yeah, Chicago niggas, bitches. All they do is shoot with real. But look at the shit with Von.
Yeah. That's why you have to do it that way. You know what
he
I'm saying?
ran up on the nigga and punt. They didn't jump him or nothing. That was a one-on-one. His man came right out the truck and thought with his instinct. That nigga, I don't fuck with that nigga Timmy. Y'all niggas want to see him too. But what he did, he wasn't wrong. He protected his brand. He protected his breadwinner. Quando Rondo is his breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like reverse the situation.
Lil Tim can't stop catching W. Bro, Lil Tim make these guys look like dweebs. Right? Utter dweebs. Now, that was 600 Breezy's reaction before finding out the charges got dropped. Now, King Von's homies or friends' reaction to Lil Tim charges being dropped are documented through several interviews. Here's a few reactions from them.
Well, recently, the charges was dropped against Lil Tim. When you saw that, did you feel like that was like a slap in the face to justice?
How's a slap in the face to justice? Self-defense. How's self-defense a slap in the face? I will pray I get off self-defense. Somebody beat my ass and I shoot. I can't do nothing but be honest with you.
So last week it was reported that the murder charges against King Von were dropped.
Yeah, for sure.
So instead of Lil Tim killing Von, they say the Atlanta police did.
For sure.
What were your thoughts when you heard that?
It was crazy, you know. It was like, I ain't know that. So that was new information to me. So it was like, cool, okay. I don't want to see him in jail anyway. So what? I don't want him in jail.
Yeah.
His ass need to be free.
All street dudes do this thing where they say, I wouldn't wish death on my worst enemy, bro. I want the ops free. I don't want the ops in jail. In same way, in that they want the ops free so they can get their get back and slide on the ops. But that would make sense if sliding was actually being planned or done. But if no sliding is being done, you just saying that comes off as corny and comes off as like damn near conceding, right? Lil Tim is catching W's right and left, right? Because they will say that in the same way in these interviews that they want to slide on Lil Tim. And even Lil Durk will hop in songs and rap about events that he had nothing to do with. Like, for example, insinuating that he got Quando Rondo Southeast Georgia show shot up when that's not the case.
Yeah, must be out of your mind. You think we ain't spinning for bro, we spinning for show. Put up a show, we spinning the cribs and traps for show. We spinning his shows.
It's all smoke and mirrors, and Lil Tim keeps on catching the W's in his interactions. Lil Tim sort of slayed the lore of the Chicago dudes, right? Because y'all should want your friend to get justice at the hands of the government or at the hands of the justice system. Because y'all not going to slide for him. Y'all not spinning for him. Y'all got too much to lose. So let's just go ahead and get rid of that facade already, right? You guys are millionaires, got too much to lose. Y'all should be rooting for the justice system, giving Lil Tim justice if he's responsible for King Von's death. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. But before you guys leave, click on the video somewhere on my screen to find out why things keep getting worse for DJ Envy. His past has finally came back to haunt him and is not looking good. Click on the video to find out what I'm talking about. I'm gonna see you guys in this video, all right? Out of here, folks. Peace.